What Sabalenka said in the gym after losing to Coco Gauff, according to her coach. Aryna Sabalenka has shown maturity in many moments during her career. The Belarusian tennis player dominates the tennis scene, but it seems that losing to Coco Gauff in the final of the French Open was one of the hardest moments in her career. The public was somewhat outraged by the statements of Sabalenka, who pointed out that Swiatek would probably beat Gauff. The Belarusian tennis player was not satisfied with her game, and her fitness trainer Jason Stacey spoke about her performance and failure. Speaking to Tennis Channel, Stacey said that the match was tough, although it looked like Sabalenka was full of energy. However, it seems that she burned herself out in that huge desire and created an additional problem for herself. Stacey pointed out that Sabalenka was frustrated with her game, and the frustration grew from moment to moment. However, in the end, he points out that showed her character by taking responsibility after the match. The Belarusian tennis player shows how much she matures year after year, ready to take on responsibility when she realizes it's up to her. So the greatest part was right after that match when we were in the locker room or the gym. All she was talking about was how she was taking responsibility for it. How her behavior was an embarrassment to the team and herself. And the next morning she came up with ideas over how that happened and trying to come up with solutions. Whereas before we would have to have a talk, drag things out, and it would evolve. But she, on her own, started reading this book, she started asking questions and came to us saying, "This is what I was thinking, what do you guys think?" So she was already much more mature and experienced about it, she said, as quoted by Tennis Gazette. According to her coach, what Sabalenka said in that gym after losing to Coco Gauff wasn't about regret. It was about defiance. "She looked at me," her coach recalled, "and said, 'I'm not broken. I'm just not finished yet.'" That sentence, simple yet scorching with pride, encapsulated everything that makes Aryna Sabalenka the force she is on the WTA Tour: raw, relentless, and unafraid of the storm. The aftermath of a final. Just hours earlier, she had been on the court battling Gauff in one of the most emotionally charged finals of the year. The match had everything: power rallies, impossible defense, and two fierce competitors refusing to blink. But Gauff, with her electric footwork and unwavering composure, had outlasted Sabalenka. It wasn't just a tactical loss, it was psychological. In the locker room, Sabalenka's frustration was visible. She didn't smash a racket, didn't yell, not this time. Instead, she went straight to the gym. "It's her way of processing," her coach said. "While most players might cool down, Aryna burns through her emotions with movement. She lifts, she runs, she works until her mind clears." As she began her post-match workout, the room was empty except for her and her coach. The echoes of Gauff's victory speech drifted faintly from a nearby TV, but Sabalenka didn't turn her head. "She earned it," Sabalenka admitted. "It was the first thing she said." Her voice wasn't bitter. There was admiration, a rare thing from a player who usually channels loss into fire. "She was braver than me today," she continued. "That's what wins finals. Not power, not rankings, just bravery in the moments that matter." Her coach nodded silently, sensing the storm inside her shifting from frustration to determination. "So," Sabalenka asked, gripping a dumbbell, "how do I get braver?" That question hung in the air, heavier than any weight she lifted. The turning point. For Sabalenka, defeat has always been a teacher disguised as pain. Every loss in her career, from early round meltdowns to heartbreaking Grand Slam collapses, had carved out a version of her that came back sharper, angrier, more dangerous. But this one was different. Coco Gauff wasn't just an opponent who played better. She represented the next generation, the evolution of the sport Sabalenka had fought to dominate. Losing to Gauff felt symbolic, a passing of something she wasn't ready to give up. She looked at the mirror after her set, her coach said, and whispered, "She's fearless because she doesn't carry what I do. But I can learn that." It was an extraordinary moment of vulnerability, the world number one acknowledging not just the strength of her rival but the growth she still needed. The grind resumes. Sabalenka's coach revealed that instead of resting the next morning, Aryna was back in the gym at sunrise. "It's not punishment," he clarified. It's her language. The gym is where she talks to herself, resets her mind. During that early session, she reportedly repeated one phrase under her breath. Make the pain worth it. For Sabalenka, loss has never been a dead end, it's a challenge to rebuild. Her training that week wasn't about revenge, it was about reclaiming control. Coco played with joy, Sabalenka told her team. That's what I lost tonight, joy. I fight, but sometimes I forget to love it. The lesson she took. What happened in that gym wasn't just physical. It was philosophical. Sabalenka's coach described it as a spiritual reset. He said she spent nearly an hour talking, not about forehands or tactics, but about mindset. She said something that stuck with me, the coach revealed. When I play angry, I win small. When I play free, I win everything. That realization, born from a loss, might be the very thing that propels her next big run. Respect between rivals. Despite the disappointment, Sabalenka didn't shy away from praising Coco Gauff. Later that night, she texted a brief message to her opponent. You made me better tonight. Keep that fire. It was a small gesture, but one that spoke volumes. There's mutual respect between the two, the fiery Belarusian and the poised American teenager who's fast becoming her toughest rival. Gauff has often said Sabalenka's power forces her to find new levels. Now it seems Sabalenka feels the same. Gauff's composure, her calm in chaos, is something Aryna has quietly started to admire. The fire still burns. As the days passed, Sabalenka's coach noticed a shift in her demeanor. She wasn't sulking anymore, he said. She was smiling again. She started to joke during practice, but every drill had an edge, as if she was building something new from the ruins. When asked if she had made peace with the loss, Sabalenka reportedly smirked and replied, Peace is boring. I'd rather make war with my limits. Those who know her best say that this mindset, that refusal to settle, is why she will always bounce back. The gym session after losing to Gauff wasn't about defeat. It was the first day of the next chapter. The bigger picture. In modern tennis, moments like these, unseen, untelevised, are what truly define champions. Coco Gauff may have taken the trophy, but Sabalenka's reaction proved why the rivalry between the two might shape women's tennis for years to come. Her coach summed it up best. You can't teach what Aryna has. You can only watch her burn through it until she finds her next version. And that night, when the lights dimmed and the machines finally stopped humming, Sabalenka looked back at her reflection one last time and said quietly, almost to herself, Next time, I'll be the brave one. It wasn't a declaration of vengeance. It was a promise, the kind that echoes through the corridors of greatness long before the next serve is struck.